I drifted awake, slowly forgetting my dreams of clocks and vodka. There was an odd sound, nothing mechanical. It sounded like a human noise. It was crying. Someone was in my quarters or just outside, sobbing loudly. I got out of bed and turned on the light. There was no sign of the crying person in my room, but I could still hear them. I opened the door to look outside. It was Melody. She was sitting on the floor outside my room, crying loudly and breathing in labored, squeaky little breaths, in danger of hyperventilating. I sat down on the floor to be at her level. It's alright. Look, I'm here now. It seemed stupid to ask why she was crying. I decided to focus on helping her stop crying, or at least breathe properly. It would help if I could get her to talk. What are you doing here? Where's the captain?
I'm sorry. Wanted to see you.
No, you little gremlin, we're not going to feed you after midnight. That's okay. You can always come and see me anytime you want.
I sneaked out of the captain's room. She was sleeping. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about that. We'll tell her in the morning. In the form of a song. But why'd you want to see me? Don't you like being with the captain?
You got the same uniform as Daddy. That makes me happy.
She was wiping her eyes while she was talking, trying to make her tears go away. She was still crying, but at least she had enough air in her lungs to form almost complete sentences. Come inside and sleep in my bed. No, you fool! Don't let her out of her cage! I let Melody in ahead of me, and she went straight to the bed, getting in and sliding herself under the covers. I got in beside her, and she immediately hugged me. I hugged back, figuring she'd feel safe with arms around her.
Monkey,
Yes?
you're warm.
So are you. You try to go to sleep now, okay?
Okay.
I lay there holding her, gently stroking her head, and it wasn't long before she fell asleep, and in no time at all, so did I. Someone was touching my face. A finger was tapping my cheek, and then my nose. Not hard enough to hurt, just soft little pokes.
Monkey, it's time to wake up. Monkey.
I opened my eyes. Who's poking me? It's a monster! Melody giggled, and I reached out to grab her into a hug. I caught you, monster. Melody had squealed and giggled, hugging me back. It's a nice monster.
You're silly.
Monkeys are very silly. I didn't really need help getting dressed, but I let Melody hand me things, and once I was ready, I brushed and fixed her hair for her. Well, monster, what do you want to do this morning?
I'm hungry. But I also want to say sorry to the captain for running away.
Don't worry, odds are she hasn't noticed you missing yet. Well, those are both important priorities. Which should we do first?
You pick.
Okay, let's go get some breakfast. Seriously, you all knew I was going to do that one. My stomach grumbled and Melody giggled.
Your tummy wants to find breakfast.
I think you're right. We can go say sorry to the captain later. We can apologize on a full stomach. Melody beamed, her eyes opening wide.
Yay! Do you think Katashi will be there?
You like Katashi, huh?
He's nice and fun.
So it's not because he gives you food.
He has yummy things.
That's why I like him too. Come on, let's go see if he's in the kitchen. Melody chattered at me as we walked about all the different kinds of food Katashi made.
And lots of kinds of cake and yummy stuff like that. And bananas. Right here.
Melody ran on ahead into the kitchen. I followed at my own pace. Arriving at the door, I could hear Katashi and Melody inside.
I'm a monster today.
A monster? Well, I don't know if I have any monster food.
Monsters like bananas.
I don't know. I always thought monsters like broccoli.
No, they only eat bananas. And cake.
Well, just to be safe, I'd better make you a broccoli cake.
No, yuck.
I must have learned all the wrong things about monsters. I guess I'd better catch one and study it. I'm gonna get you, monster!
Quick, Katashi, throw the Pokeball.
Gotcha! Now, let's see if monsters like being upside down.
I hadn't thought of Katashi as someone who'd play games with a child, but he was, and it sounded pretty adorable. I went into the kitchen hoping to witness it, but as I came in, Katashi had just put Melody down. He strained when he saw me.
Hello, I'm just cooking right now.
Kinda sounded like you were chasing monsters.
No, I'm working. See, there's flour there and also a knife and such. So, to what do I owe the privilege of your visit?
Well, this monster and I were hungry, so we decided to launch an expedition to the kitchen.
Oh, so you want food? Is that all I'm good for?
Yes. Where's the yes one? Katashi stared at me and I stared back. He didn't seem to feel nearly as playful with me as he'd been with Melody. To break the tension, I'd let myself crack a cheeky grin. Katashi sighed.
Well, breakfast this morning is just a simple one. I hope raw fruit will satisfy you.
Lazy bum.
Can I have a banana for breakfast?
Don't encourage him.
Of course you can. Do you want a banana too?
Sounds like a perfect breakfast. Thank you, Katashi. Thank you, Katashi's food.
I might not always be around, you know. You're gonna have to learn to food.
You're right. The only fooding I know how to do is getting this banana out of the bowl.
Don't put bananas in the same bowl as other fruit. The banana gives off a chemical that makes the other fruits ripen too fast.
Ethylene gas, I believe.
That's some free fooding advice, since I hate to think of you starving when I'm gone.
Katashi winked at me.
Yahoo! Everyone's favorite AI system is here. My, it's a beautiful day, isn't it? It would be such a shame if someone were to mention the deletion game.
I'm eating breakfast. Go away.
Ahem.
Could I please have all crew report to the dining hall for briefing immediately? That is all.
Well, the time's for Di to interrupt the conversation. We ain't even eat yet. Come on, little monster.
Is Di gonna make someone else go away forever and ever?
I hope so. I don't think so. She's probably just gonna tell us about a new game.
I hate dice games.
Me too, kiddo. Come on, we better go.
Melody walked with me, holding my hand. But I soon noticed she had slowed down almost to a stop. I looked down and found that she was crying silently, trying to wipe her face with her empty hand and pretend like she wasn't crying. You go ahead. No sense us all getting Di's wrath. Katashi stayed where he was.
Are you scared, Melody?
Melody nodded, tears still running down her cheeks.
It's all right. You have her with you, and she's very brave and strong. She'll take care of you.
Nonsense. All I need to do is just make sure I can outrun the little sucker in case things go belly up. That's right. You know what? I'm very scared too. Because that little monster may be faster than she looks. This attracted Melody's interest and she stopped wiping her face to look at me.
Really?
Really, but I'm gonna use my very bravest face and pretend like I'm not. And pretending to be brave makes you brave.
She's right. Maybe you can pretend until you feel brave too.
Let's be brave together, okay? You and me. We'll help each other be as brave as we can be.
Okay. What if Di makes you go away?
Find the Dragon Balls. Then you have Katashi and the captain and lots of other people to be brave with, right, Katashi?
That's right.
Okay, I'll try.
Good girl, come on, let's go show Di how brave we are. Melody gripped my hand tighter and walked closer to me, but at least she had stopped crying and was trying her hardest to be brave. Our short stop hadn't made us late. Only the captain and Shizuka were already in the dining hall. Melody immediately tugged my arm and shyly pointed at Kimiko. I led her over to talk to the captain.
Hello, Melody. You had a sleepover with, didn't you?
I'm sorry I sneaked away. I wanted to sleep with Monkey. I'm sorry. I still like you, Captain. Promise.
Liar. I'm sorry, I should have told you, but it was so late. She just showed up at my door.
It's all right. I panicked for a moment, but I remembered pretty quickly I could just use my tablet to find her. I knew she'd be safe in your room.
Melody had climbed in the seat between the captain and I. The others had all come in while we'd been talking. Dai suddenly appeared in front of us.
Hey, good morning, kids. We've got a thrilling week ahead of us, so let's get started. Before I begin, I have a message. For the owner of a large deep space vessel, you have left your headlights on. Repeat, the owner of a large deep space vessel, you have left your lights on.
Glad I'm not that guy.
What does that mean?
It's a joke. Dai, just get on with it, please.
Rude as always. All right, I can't hold in the excitement any longer. Welcome to round 4 of the deletion game, Bidding Wars.
Allegedly fixed.
I have noticed a certain lack of, what's the word?
Compassion? Interest?
Teamwork.
Oh,
So I have specifically designed this game to help us grow as a crew, but more importantly, as a family. We have to work as a team and trust one another if we are to get through this together.
Cut the crap, Dai. One of us will die. Teamwork is not on the cards.
Well, it is now, 'cause I said so. If you would all please turn your attention to your tablet devices, I have made you a short video on the rules.
skip. I said
So the
skip.
game will be played, and the bidding wars end on Sunday, a week from now. This is pretty exciting, right? Now, would you like me to explain the rules again myself, or just skip straight to the fun?
Holy crap. I guess the devs really did fix stuff.
So let the game begin. This is going to be great. I love teamwork, don't you?
Just getting ready to read my email.
Now it's time to get into our teams and start talking strategy. Team A will be you, Kimiko, Katashi, and Yoshiki.
She's isolating Melody. Oh no, that meant Melody was on the other team.
And Team B will be Beatrix, Nicholas, Melody, and Shizuka.
Can't Melody be on my team?
All decisions are final.
I want to be with Monkey.
No negotiation. The teams have been set. My word is final.
This is low, Dai.
All right. Team A needs time to strategize. Team B, get out.
I don't want to go with them.
Team B, get your short member under control before I do.
That's right, put her back in the cage. It's gonna be okay, Melody, I promise. You go with the others.
I don't wanna.
She's a child, Dai. She doesn't understand all this.
I wasn't this problematic as a child.
You were a child?
Of course I was. And I was adorable at that.
I could see the captain roll her eyes at Yoshiki as Yoshiki began gushing about how cute Dai would have been as a child. I turned my attention back to Melody.
Melody, maybe you could come help me in the medic bay. That's always fun, right?
We can play games, okay? And you'll be back with in no time.
I don't want to play games.
Melody had started bawling, unable to get her words out clearly. Remember when we agreed about being brave together? Melody nodded as she sobbed. Well, I don't think I can be brave. I think I can be brave because I'm with the captain and she's very brave. Shizuka and the others don't have anyone. I think they need your help more than I do. Can you be brave for them? Melody nodded again. Good girl, I promise to take care of myself. You promise to take care of your team, okay?
Okay.
Shizuka held her hand and Melody slowly went to her, looking back at me. I put on my best everything will be okay smile. Promise me you won't let her lose.
Of course.
I waved goodbye to Melody and Shizuka led her out of the room, the Vogels following behind. The door shut behind Team B.
I thought they'd never leave.
Me too.
Now it's time for a game within a game. Let's play. Team Captain!
We don't pick our own captain?
I've preloaded 4 cards on your tablets. You can choose one whenever you're ready. The person who chooses the card with the bunny on it will be the team captain.
How can we be sure the process is fair?
Why would I cheat? I'm in charge. I could just pick whoever I want for captain. This way's more fun.
That was a good point. Why invent a random system and then cheat to choose a captain? She could just tyrannically appoint anyone.
What order do we pick our cards?
That's up to you.
I'll go last. I'll take whatever's left.
It doesn't seem like the order makes much difference. It's basically just chance. I'll go second last.
Okay, well, captain's first, I guess.
So let's see. If you lose, Yoshiki dies. If you win, Shizuka dies, I believe. Kimiko looked at her tablet.
I'll take card 3.
I'll go for card 4.
I'll take card 2, which leaves my BFF with lucky number 1.
I like you guys, quick and efficient. So let's see what you've won. Congratulations! You are the lucky winner.
Thanks.
I know how much you all love my company, but alas, I must depart. Team B needs me. Any further questions?
We all looked at one another, none of us budging.
No? Then farewell, brave contestants. Toodles!
Di disappeared, leaving us free to talk. I hope Melody is okay. She can't speak for herself.
I doubt the others would let her lose the game.
Agreed.
I guess so. I wasn't that confident. It was one thing to say that they wouldn't let Melody end up on the least points, but that meant one of the three of them would lose, and I didn't think it was that easy to volunteer for death. But then again, they had Shizuka, who won at every game she played, and the twins were both smart and savvy. Maybe I shouldn't be as scared for Melody as for myself.
Alright, let's look at this logically. Since we can't know what they're going to do, we need to find a way of hedging our bets.
We might as well just guess.
We could use the first round as a test to see what their strategy is, and use that to decide on the strategy for the other 2 rounds.
We could do it while wearing funny hats. Everything's easier with a funny hat on.
But they'll probably have the same idea, even the
Exactly
hats.
are they even going to survive a week on their own anyway?
Good point. If both of us are trying to gauge each other's strategy, the first round is pointless and we'll both be misled.
Another advantage of the funny hat plan is that it will confuse and disorient our opponents.
He has a point.
Who's going to feed them? Is Nicholas going to get behind a frying pan? Can you imagine?
Might burn down the ship.
I can. Well, I'm imagining a funny hat for him, too.
I can see the captain doing her best to ignore the other 2.
So there's really 2 basic options to this game, I think. You can either give one person a very high number, or you can spread the points out more evenly.
That sounds about right.
Is there a play we can make that has a higher chance of beating them, regardless of which of those they choose?
If we give our highest player a 9, they'll either win or cancel out if they play a 9 too. But it leaves us with only one other point to give to someone else, and that means they have to beat our other 3
It
players.
might be better to use lower numbers and write the highest off as a loss, focusing on the other 3.
I'd still like to put in a word for the hat plan.
Yoshiki,
I was sure he knew his hat plan was unlikely to win us the game. He was just trying to use humor to ease the tension. It wasn't working so well.
I don't exactly see Beatrix cooking either.
okay, I think we all need some time to process this and think about it. Let's regroup later.
Agreed. I've got to go put some food aside. I hope they realize it's for them.
I have to check on our course anyway.
I've got hats to make.
Yoshiki flashed a cheeky grin and it was impossible to be annoyed at his silly behavior. Alright, let's meet up later. We each went our separate ways, worrying about our separate concerns. Mine was Melody and whether I could trust Shizuka and the Vogels to put her safety ahead of their own. Okay, that's starting to annoy me. I woke up feeling surprisingly rested and refreshed. We had a new deletion game, but there was no point stressing too much about that. I had known there would be a new game, and there was a whole week before we had to play. That was plenty of time for me to come find another solution. That could mean fixing Dai or working out how my parents' pocket watch worked. Worried about the game wouldn't get me anywhere, and Yoshiki had been right. Being able to predict our opponent's strategy, might as well just guess and hope for the best, funny hat or not. There was one thing I felt justified in worrying about. I summoned Dai as I finished getting dressed.
Hello. How can I assist you?
Can you tell me who Melody is with and what they're doing? I'm not allowed to ask them directly, and I don't think Dai would like it if I passed a message through you. But can you just tell me what she's doing?
Melody is in Shizuka's quarters. Shizuka is teaching her how to play a video game.
Does she seem okay? Is she happy?
Melody is interested in the game and is not currently showing any obvious signs of distress.
Well, that's good, I guess. Thanks, I. Satisfied that Melody was okay, I decided to spend the day thinking about the pocket watch. I still didn't understand how it was supposed to work, but maybe one of the others would have some ideas. Perhaps I just need a fresh pair of eyes. The most obvious choice was to show the watch to the captain, but I wasn't sure if she'd believe me about dimensional travel. I was more comfortable with Yoshiki, and he was an engineer, but he might not take me seriously enough. Perhaps Katashi. He does dig holes? So we'll go to Katashi. He'll probably end up doing his route here. My tablet showed me that Katashi was in the Eco Lounge. I was able to use the tablet as I walked to see where Team B were. It stopped me walking right past Beatrix. I didn't want to risk any interaction at all, even just a passing nod. Dai was too vindictive and unpredictable to risk that. When I got to the Eco Lounge, I found Katashi lying on the grass under a tree with his eyes closed. I wasn't sure if he was asleep or not, so I approached as quietly as I could, figuring I'd just sit nearby and wait for him to wake up. I picked a spot close enough to see if he opened his eyes, but not close enough to be creepy. He didn't move at all as I crept over and sat down.
What do you want?
Just creeping. He hadn't even opened his eyes. How do you know it was me? Did he hear me? Do I smell bad? I don't have to want something from you to come and see you.
Get on with it.
Clearly he wasn't buying what I was saying. Well, I came to show you something. Katashi finally opened his eyes and sat up.
Finally, to the point. Now, what is it?
I took out the pocket watch to show him. So, this belonged to my parents. I found it in their stuff in the lab.
It's a watch.
I know that, but I don't think it's just a watch. I think it has something to do with alternate realities and traveling between them.
Well, I'm not exactly a physicist. So what do you need my opinion for?
I don't want your opinion on anything, dude. I'm bored. If you could travel between dimensions, what would you do first? Katashi lay back again, looking up at the tree.
What would I do first?
Yep, which plant would you plant first? Because you're still growing crap.
If I could change dimensions, I wouldn't mind seeing if different dimensions have different food products.
Really?
Just imagine all the things that are edible. Just not in this universe.
Well, just remember, everything on the ship is edible, including the people. It's just that's kind of frowned upon. Yeah, I suppose so.
Trying new things is amazing. You won't know if you like something until you try it. And new dimensions offer more chances to discover something new. Just think of the possibilities.
Katashi rolled himself forward and moved from lying on his back to staying up in one fluid movement.
Damn it, no. Thanks for the conversation, but I'm gonna get something to eat.
He walked off back towards the door without saying another word or even looking back at me. Frustrated and annoyed, I decided to go back to my quarters and look through my parents' research notes. Maybe it would be a good time to summon Ai so we could talk about Dyer and her deactivation codes. Figuring out the watch wouldn't be so urgent if we could stop Dai from slaughtering the rest of the crew. I sat on the bed with the papers and tablets sprawled over the bed. Nothing. Still nothing. This is so frustrating. Okay, I need to calm down. Getting angry isn't going to solve anything. I threw myself back onto the bed and stared at the ceiling for a long time before I was suddenly bathed in the warm glow of Ai's holographic interface.
I am sorry to interrupt.
Don't worry about it, Ai. You weren't interrupting anything. What's up?
I found some more information that may be useful against Dai.
That's wonderful. What is it?
I've discovered that it's possible to input the deactivation code into any terminal, including your personal tablets.
Do you know anything about the deactivation code? Ai shook her head.
Unfortunately, I didn't learn anything else. I tried to access more information, but even with my administrator privileges, I was unable to proceed any further.
Well, at least we know where we can input the code once we know what it is.
I am glad you are pleased.
It isn't perfect, but it's a step in the right direction.
I must return to my duties.
Of course. Thanks for the update, Ai. I bowed and phased out of my quarters. Deactivate from any tablet or terminal, huh? At least now I knew that I wouldn't need a higher clearance level. Probably going to have to dig up some information on Yumu if I want to work out this code. There was no help for it now, though. The captain was on the other team, off limits for the duration of this round. Captain's on our team. I returned my attention to the watch. Come on, pull yourself together. You need to work this out. I sifted through my parents' papers and tablets to see if I missed anything.